Hi, everyone. Welcome to Blaisdell Studios. Today is September 14th, 2022, and this is Yamuna body rolling with a focus on the thigh between the pelvis and the knee, just really realigning it. And that's great for our knees and great for our hips. And that's what we're thinking about. Let's start sitting on the gold ball. You can also use a silver or a pearl. Start in the middle of your mat. Start sitting on your right sit bone. And for just a few moments, just sit there. Notice your sit bone right directly sinking down into that ball vertically. And then go back and forth. And stay straight so you get as much pressure into that sit bone as possible. Then come back and stop and center yourself over that sit bone and go side to side and side, and you can lean over a little bit as you go, and side to side. And let's do our circles around the sit bone, warm up the pelvis and the hips a little bit, and a bigger circle, and 3 circles one way, getting bigger and bigger, and then 3 circles returning from big to small, and a little bit smaller, and a little bit smaller until you end up right back where you began. Lean forward and stick your seat out and let the ball roll down into your hamstring tendons. Sink into the ball. Let's just point our toes, flex the toes, and point and flex. Then stop and sink. And then instead of pointing and flexing to move the leg, reach from the hip bone out and retract the leg in. So if my arm is my hip bone, it's like retracting out, obviously not that far. It's barely moving, but it is just in your head, moving a little bit out. We'll do 3 and in, and then sink down. Bear weight into the ball. Maybe you can go a little further forward or stay over the ball. Move the ball out to the side. Lean over to where the ball is at the side of that system, in that crease between your leg and your pelvis. Bear weight in the ball. We won't do those other releases. You could, but we may be here for 2 hours if we do that. So we have to pick what we want to do today, so that, certainly you could do the forward and back, point and flex, and sink into the ball. And feel that extra release as you bend forward. You can straighten your standing leg, you can bend it, or you can put it behind you, whichever doesn't strain you, but gives you as much stability and release as you can get. Then bring the ball back and center it. Roll it down a third of the way down to, the knee about, and just sink in for a moment and point and flex and point and flex. Let's do one more here. And point and flex, and then just release the foot, relax. Flex your foot now and reach the heel and retract it back. Good, Brian. Reach the heel. Keep their toes flexed up and pull back. Reach that's right. Good. And bring it back in, and then find the center place. Sink down into the ball. Bear weight into the ball as you spread the tissue wide in that hamstring. Bear weight over where the ball is. Sink in, sink in, sink in, and slowly roll that ball back through the tissue over to the inside of the hamstring groove. Bear weight into that ball. Breathe in, come off a little bit, then sink into the ball. Bear weight in to bring yourself back centered, and roll the ball down halfway down the system. Breathe in and breathe out. Sink in, point the foot, point back, and point it and flex it. And let's do 3. Point and flex. Come back and relax down into the ball. Flex your foot, reach through the heel and in, through the heel and in. One more, through the heel and in. Sink down into the ball, roll the ball down. One more increment. Bear weight into the ball and point and flex and point and flex and point and flex. Relax your foot, sink down into the ball, flex your foot and reach out and in and out and in and out and in, sink down into the ball. And I didn't do those last 2 going across because this ball is so wide, it's really getting the whole hamstring on those last 2 spots. Then roll the ball into your knee and sit down, or you could have, been sitting before that. It's fine to sit down when you need to. Take your hands on the lower leg and pull it long away from your thigh. Give it a chance to release in there. Maybe stretch your leg out a little bit and then release it again. Take a hold of it with one hand, take your other hand up and pull your upper and lower leg apart so your knee has more space in there. Breathe in and out, sink down. And make sure, I all of a sudden felt like it wasn't exactly in the middle of my knee. So make sure it's in there and you really feel like it's opening up that space. Then we will here go a little bit to the side because there are 2 bony protrusions on the lower leg and the upper leg that you can stimulate, and you can also get into tendons and ligaments and cartilage even when you go off to the side. Sink in and slowly come up and just roll the ball to the inside. So the ball is on the inside of that knee. And you'll feel the bone. It has a different sensation. It feels, to me, not stingy, but it's definitely, I have more sensitivity. The bone feels more sensitive than when I'm just in muscles. And also it feels harder. I feel a hard surface going into that ball. And then just take the ball away and sit there for a moment and notice how you feel from right to left. Reach forward and go to the other side. Do you feel a difference between your right and your left? Good. Yeah, I can really see it with you, Brian. Yeah, and we didn't do anything up the spine, and yet I feel like I'm sitting up taller on my right side, right? You feel that? So releasing that hamstring really helps our posture. And when we sit, everything starts to sort of shrivel. Didn't want to say shrivel, but that's the word that came to my mind. But it shortens. Shortens is a better word. We don't want to hear that word shrivel. Shortens. But we lose the fluidity. We lose, when we start doing this work, it gets more circulation in there, more blood, more, fluid in there. So that is the opposite of shrivel. All right, in the middle of your mat, on the top of your ball, sitting up nice and straight, bearing weight right where that sit bone is, right into the ball. Just for a couple more seconds, just sit there. Notice what happens. When you allow your body to sink into the ball, it starts to feel, the sensation starts to get a little different. You might start to notice more things. Then start moving forward and back. And forward and back. And forward and back. And come back on top of that sit bone and go side to side. Good. And side to side. And side Good, Dana. And good, Brian. Good, Susan. Yeah, good. Come back onto your sit bones, circles. Go right around the very beginning of the edges of the sit bone. Then get bigger so you get into the muscles. Feel all those muscle fibers and feel the bones and the sacrum and your pelvis as you go. The big circle, you're really going around the top edge of your sacrum and go the other way, across, swiping out and come around. Make the circle. Really try to get it around, circling it. Third one, finish on top of your sit bone. Stick your seat out. Let the ball roll into your hamstring tendons. Sink down into the ball. Bear weight right over where that ball is. And we'll do our point and flex. And point and flex. So this is like a nice little massage. Point and flex. Then relax your foot. Sink in more. Flex your foot and reach with the heel and retract the ball into the socket. Reach with the heel. Feel the connection between the heel and the ball of the your femur. And back in, and then just sink down into the ball. Bear weight into the ball to roll over to the side. Feel that depth. Feel that release. Wait until you really do feel that release. Then bear weight into the ball. Slowly come around that bony connection to the hamstrings, our pelvis connecting to our hamstrings, the tendon bone juncture. Sink in. Find that space between the leg and the pelvis. Bear weight into the ball. Roll the ball back, centered. Drag the body backwards. The ball goes down a third of the way down that system. Point your toes and flex and point and flex. One more and point and flex. Then just relax into the ball. Bear weight into the ball. Bear weight even more to flex your foot and reach out and pull it in. Reach out and pull it in. And reach out and pull it in. Notice if there's a difference between the two sides. Sink into the ball. Roll the ball over to the outer side. Sink over where the ball is. Feel that release in there. And you are welcome to breathe. Bear weight into that ball. Push the tissue over to the inner part. Press your weight over where that ball is on the inner part of the hamstrings. Bear weight down into the ball. And slowly come back and center the ball. Drag your body up. The ball goes down. So we're halfway down. Breathe in. Breathe out. Sink into the ball. And point. And flex. And point. And flex. And point. And flex. Reach it out and in and out and in. One more time. Reach that heel. Pull back in and then just come back and sink in. Take the ball down one more increment so it's 2/3 of the way down. And breathe in, lift up, exhale, sink into the ball. Point, flex, point, flex. Beautiful, Brian. Good, Susan. Point. Nice, Dana. Point and flex and relax the foot. Sink into the ball. Flex your foot. Reach through your heel. Retract the leg. Reach through your heel, retract the leg. Reach through the heel, retract the leg. Sink down, down, down. And just come back to sitting. Move the ball if you haven't already, and if you have, it's fine. Move the ball into that knee space. Find, you can mess around a little bit with it and just find that place for it and wrap your leg around it. take a hold of just below your knee and find those little bumps there and pull down on them. That's your lower leg, your tibial plateau. Press it down, 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 and away from your thigh. Take a hold of it with one hand, pull the thigh away, pull that lower leg away, make more space in your knee. And just relax. Then release it and move your body over slightly and your leg over slightly and bear weight into where that ball is. You can use your hand or you can just use your forearm a little bit. I think the hand feels better, but you could use your forearm. Brian, you're clever. I'm sure you could figure out how to use your leg. And that would not be great form though. This is better. Yeah, you're good. Change to the inside. Take it through, directly across, and bear weight over. I'll demonstrate this way, but it's my knee is, or the leg is sideways on there. Can lean over a little bit more and pull that ball out a little bit more so you really get it nice and stimulated. You could stretch it a little bit and bend it a little bit. Again, just like when we do flex and point, you could even probably do flex and point there and notice what that feels like. You can always do the flex and point and the reach out and in a little bit and get some more stimulation there, and then just sink in. But it's good also to just hold the position. It's like telling your body, don't have to do a lot of stuff. You can just be here and get released. And then just come off the ball with your ball to the side, stretch forward and see how that side feels. And see how it compares to the other side. And they should feel pretty even. I like that stuff. I'm going to repeat that next time. You know, sometimes things just come to me in the class based on what I've worked on, and that doing the little reaching and, you know, that felt really good. It just felt like it got that extra massage into those bones. And I went, ooh, they really do need it because they just are constantly, you know, jockeying around to keep us supported. Now we're going to turn on our abdomen. And this is the quad release, and today we're going to do a little bit of the twist. I'm going to show this to you. Come on, baby, do the twist with the Yamuna ball. Okay, no, sorry, being silly again. You're going to put the ball on your ASIS bone. I'm just going to show this really quick. So you're here, you do your breathing, you can come up onto your toes if you want to. You want to really bear weight over where the ball is. Then you can bend your knee, sink down around the ball, and you should start back on this too. And you're going to either move the ball with your hand just below the leg crease, because we don't want to get the ball into the lymph nodes that are at the leg crease. And once the ball is about an inch below the leg crease, then we'll just stay here, breathe in, breathe out, sink into the ball. Then we do we're going to go ahead and do the just flex and point, using the floor, and flex and point. So we get a little massage there, flex and point. So we're going to do the same thing. Then flex it and reach out and in. And that's smaller here, out and in, but you can still feel that out and in. Then sink into the ball, and then we'll do the little cuckoo clock pendulum out and in. Change your hand position so that you turn your right arm in if you're on your right leg. Take your left hand, put it in the push-up position, and use both feet up on half toe to twist and go across all the way to the outside of that thigh. And then just rotate yourself back around and draw your body forward. Then we'll do the same thing. So again, it's point and flex and point and flex and point and flex. Or I did flex and point, flex and point, flex and point, then relax it, then flex it and reach it out and in and out and in and out, and make it small, sink in. Then the leg goes out and bends up, comes back down, and you change, you come up and you twist, and feel free to modify or put another ball under your chest, bring yourself back. Then we'll take ourselves forward. So we'll do 3 spots, because then it starts to get, you know what, we'll do 4 spots because you all probably have longer legs than I do. So we'll do the hip bone, and then we'll go, this is number 1, a third of the way down, half of the way down, and 2/3 of the way down. So that's 4 points altogether. Starting with the ball on your ASIS bone. Down, down, down. Place the ball on that bone. Just bend your left knee for now to get the stimulation in there. Let's not burn our arms out any sooner than we need to. And just sink down there and breathe in and out 3 times. Breathe in and exhale, and sink your tail around the ball. And you're doing a release for our quad muscles here, but you're also doing a release for your psoas. Breathe in, push your belly out, and exhale. Good. Exhale. Exhale. Keep bearing weight, leaning your weight over to feel that hip bone in the ball. That was 2 breaths. Let's do 2 more. Let's go up 4 all together. And breathe in. Deeper breath in. Expand your entire core. And exhale. 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 Drop your tail. That was 3. We'll do 1 more. Inhale. And expanding it more. Imagine your whole core like a big tire, like a big inner tube, expanding out in all directions. Like it's just expanding more than you thought it could. Widen those back ribs. And exhale. Drop your tail around the ball. Feel that nice expansion and release that starts to happen in the body. And then if you want, you can just bring yourself up a little bit and just move the ball down. You can feel to where your leg crease is and just put the ball down just below that leg crease. Come up onto both half toes if you can. If not, keep the left knee bent to give yourself a little bit more support. And take a deep breath in. Exhale, sink down into that ball. Drop your tail a little bit, and your foot is flexed, and then we'll point it and flex it. So the ball's moving back a little bit with the flex and point. And flex and point. Then sink down into the ball, flex your foot, and reach your heel and pull it in. So it's similar to the flex and point, but it's a different focus. Flex and, your foot flexes and you reach the leg bone out and you retract it back into the socket and you reach the femur bone out and retract it back in. You can feel your abdominals getting stronger doing that. Change your hands. Right arm is perpendicular now. Left hand is under your shoulder. Come up on both half toes if you can. Sorry, I blew it. Sink in. We have to do the tick-tock. Take your leg out to the side. Bend your knee so the ball rolls through your inner thigh. Go back through that inner thigh. Stretch your leg all the way down underneath you. Now you change into the twist position. Come up onto your toes. Bear weight into that ball. Twist. Look over your shoulder so you get that ball all the way across your IT band. And then rotate slowly back around. Come straight onto your thigh again. And bend your left knee, bend your right knee, and just sink down for a minute. Straighten out, walk your body forward. The ball goes to the halfway point. So that was a third of the way down. This is a half of the way down. Flex your heel, point your toe, flex and point, and flex and point. Then relax your foot for a second, sink a little bit more. And then reach through the heel and push that leg bone long, then retract it in, push it out, retract it in, push it out, retract it in. Take the leg out to the side, bend your knee, let that ball roll across your inner thigh. Bring the leg all the way around straight under you. Change your arms, come up onto your toes, twist. Let the ball push the tissue back and bring yourself back to where you started. And one more time, drag yourself forward. Last one, and flex and point, flex and point, flex and point. Dig down into that ball and reach that leg long and pull it back in. Reach it long and pull it back in. Reach it long and pull it back in. Last thing, take the leg out to the side, bend your knee. It feels really good when it rolls across here. And take that ball right back across the top of your thigh. Change your hands, twist your body. Last one, bring yourself back around and just bend your knees. Sit back on your heels and just decompress your arms. Breathe in and breathe out. Feel which leg folds into your chest more. Maybe even which foot feels like it can tuck under you. And turn onto your back. And notice how you feel in your right side of your thigh, your left thigh. Just notice that whole right side. Bend your right knee in. Stretch your leg up to the ceiling. Bend your knee in. Stretch your leg straight. Bend your left knee in. Stretch your leg up to the ceiling. Bend your knee in. And stretch your leg long. So you might notice that it's easier to stretch the hamstring out on the leg that we just did the quad work on, which it does more hamstring release when you do the quad. Just like when you do your hamstrings, you really feel your back gets released on that side too, because we have so many slings and chains and muscle connections in our bodies. Our bodies are so brilliant. Then let's give our arms a little bit of TLC. Just reach them up and back. Inhale. Exhale, lower your arms down and just shake them out a little bit. Shake your arms out. Give them some TLC. Do it one more time. Reach your arms up and back. And exhale and lower down. And just take a few more moments to notice anything else in your body that's starting to unfold. Notice if you feel elongation, maybe in the front of your pelvis where your psoas is, even though we really didn't do a psoas release. We released a bit of it by doing the quad. And the inner thigh too, when we get in there. I mean, when you do that work on the quad, you really do all of the leg, just about the whole leg. It's almost like probably 270 degrees or something. It's not quite a circle, but it's maybe 3/4 of a circle. Bend your knees, roll onto your side, come up onto the ball on your left pelvic bone, and make sure that you are far enough down so we can go up. Find that hip bone. Just make yourself comfortable so that your arms don't get tired. Just stay here and just drop that tail around the ball. And again, you can come up if you want, but the main thing is to keep the weight over where that pelvic bone is. Take a deep breath in and exhale, 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 and inhale and exhale. This is 2. I think I'm going to put my knee down. It does feel better. Inhale, and yourself as much pressure. Inhale, expanding out, more, 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 and exhale, exhale. And feel how the bone starts to soften. Exhale. Let's do one more breath. Inhale, and exhale. Sinking in. Then just move the ball down with your hands. Feel for the crease to make sure that you are below it. Line yourself up right over that ball. Then we'll just do our flex it and stretch it and flex it and stretch it. Flex the foot till the ball rolls up and stretch the foot so the ball rolls down. Then come back, center it, and reach the leg out through the heel. Retract it in, reach it out, retract it in, reach out, retract it in. Take the leg out to the side, bend your knee, let it roll across your inner thigh, and take it back across. Straighten it out, change your hands, come up and twist. And come back and center yourself. Walk yourself forward so that the ball is, that was a third of the way. This is a half of the way. So we just have 2 more of these to do. And breathe in, breathe out, sink into the ball. And flex and point. Flex, the ball rolls up, and point, the ball goes down. Flex and point. Then we're going to reach through our heel, reach the heel and reach that leg long and retract it in. Reach that leg long, retract it in. Reach that leg long, retract it in. And sink in, roll that, take the leg out to the side, roll the ball in towards your inner thigh, bend your knee. Straighten your knee, bring that leg straight down underneath you, change your foot and hand position. And bear weight into that ball. Lots of speed bumps on this leg. And twist. And come back and straighten yourself out. 1 more point. Take yourself forward so that the ball is 2/3 of the way down, but it's above your knee. It's not on your knee. And flex it and point it. You don't have to point all the way. Just move it back and forth. Just move that ball back and forth. And flex and stretch. And sink into the ball. Reach the leg and retract it. Reach it and retract it. Reach it and retract it. Sink into the ball. Take that leg out to the side. Bend your knee up towards your ear. Bring that leg down. Straighten it out. Change your hands and your feet. Hang on. Feel your power in your body. Releasing those big, strong quads. Bring yourself back. Center yourself right over that ball. Just go back a little bit further and come off the ball. Sit back for a moment, decompress. But notice now both legs probably fold in a little bit more, and it feels like the quads are a little bit softer now, and they allow you to fold yourself up, which also gives you a nice release in your back. Breathe in and breathe out. Slowly reverse your body and lie on your back. Supine, in a supine position. And just don't do anything. Just notice where you are in your body right now. Just take a deep breath in and exhale. Feel your pelvis. Feel your hip flexors. Bend your left knee in, extend your leg up to the ceiling. Feel how powerful and connected that feels. Bend your knee in and stretch it out. Check the right leg out. See if it feels the same. Bend your knee in, extend your leg up. Bend your knee in, extend your leg out. I'm always so surprised about how much that changes the function of the thigh to do the quad. And yet I am so reticent to do it because it's so easy to just sit on the ball and do the hamstrings. But the quad is where it's at because those quads get so tight and they do impede movement if they get too tight, and then also it helps to release the psoas when you've released your quad too. I mean, we've done lots of classes where we do that as well. Take your arms up and breathe in, and now feel your long front of your body. Inhale up. Exhale, lower your arms back down. And inhale up again and back. And exhale and lower your arms down. So let's do our IT band, which is, of course, a really important to get direct contact on, because we sort of twisted across it, but we haven't really done anything to elongate it straight down. So we'll do what we usually do, starting on the greater trochanter, and then we'll go up a little bit into the gushy stuff up here, and then we'll come back down, and we'll go down where we've been going with everything else, to right above the knees. So we'll do at the site of the joint, and then we'll go a third of the way, or we'll go at the side of the joint, then up onto the our tensor fasciae lata and our gluteus minimus muscles that are stabilizer muscles. And then we'll go back down, and we'll go on to we'll just make a quick stop again above the greater trochanter, and then we'll go a third of the way down, half of the way down, and 2/3 of the way down. And we'll just sink in, and we'll go a little forward and a little bit back, but it won't be as intense as the last one that we did. And if you need to get another ball under your ribs, feel free. But you know, you're also strong. I don't think you will. Let's come up onto the ball, place it, and you can just stay in the middle of your mat. Stretch your legs out directly in line with your shoulders. Make your arm nice and in a 90-degree angle. And breathe in, breathe out, sink into the ball. Now, if you really want to get some extra pressure in there, you can come up, but we've done a lot of work on our arms, so I recommend staying down. And you can get more weight over this way, you can get more weight here too. Breathe in, exhale, sink into the ball, and we'll just bear weight in, and we won't do the forward and back yet. We'll just get this established here. Breathe in, exhale, sink into the ball. Maybe your legs feel like they could lengthen a little bit. Maybe you can even pull your ribs up so you just feel that space you're creating. Breathe in, exhale, sink into the ball. Let's do one more. We've been doing 4 everywhere. Breathe in, exhale, sink into the ball. Now we'll just rotate the body forward a little bit. Let the ball go along that crease. Sinking in, sinking in, sinking in. And go back. Again, pushing your glutes away. Open your chest and come back onto your side. Roll the ball up onto your tensor fasciae lata, those muscles that are on the side of your pelvis and your gluteus minimus. Breathe in. Exhale, sink into the ball. You know, we could do a little bit of the heel and toes and heel and massage this and toes. Why not? And heels and toes, and then sink in. And then we'll take the ball into the joint again. And then we'll do the other one. We'll do the reach and retract. Sink into the ball, then reach the leg long and retract. Reach and retract and reach. So you just get a nice massage on your greater trochanter, and then just sink down. Roll the ball. Let's do it forward. And roll the ball back. And come back onto your side. Roll the ball up. A third of the way down. Sink into the ball. We can do a little reach. Let's just reach the leg long and pull it back up. Reach it long and pull it back up. Reach it long and pull it back up, and sink into the ball. Rotate forward and back. Come back up. Go to the halfway point. Breathe in. Exhale, sink into the ball and reach the leg. Pull it up. Reach it. Pull it up. Reach it. Pull it up. Sink in. Rotate forward and back. And one more time. Take that ball 2/3 of the way down. Sink into the ball. Bear weight into that ball. Hang on. And reach the heel. Pull it back. Or just reach the leg bone out and pull it back. Reach it. Pull it back. Sink in. Rotate forward. Rotate back. Come back onto that leg and roll the ball back up. Just push yourself down. Let that ball go all the way up onto the side of your pelvis. Bend your knees so that you do elongate that whole area and come up. Shake your arms out. Rub them. Give them some TLC. We're going to have such strong arms. Everybody doing okay? Good. All right. I think we should just take a moment and put the ball underneath your right armpit and give our arms a little TLC after doing all of that. Just cross your legs, sink into the ball. This is a nice thing to do since we haven't paid any attention to our upper body, and this always is a total body class. Breathe in. Exhale, sink into the ball and breathe in. Exhale, sink into the ball. Hold on to your hand, Brian, so that you bring your hand across. Yeah, good. Rotate your body forward a little bit, look over your left shoulder, and then rotate it back the other way. Look over your right shoulder, pull that shoulder back, and just bring the ball back and bring your arm off the ball. And just notice the difference between the two arms. So maybe we should do the other one too, and then we'll do the same thing on the other side since we use both arms pretty equally there. So take the left arm. I crossed my left leg over the front of my right leg too. And pull that arm down and back so that you've got some good posture. Inhale. Exhale, sink the ball into your ribs. And inhale. Exhale, sink the ball into your ribs. Let's do one more. Inhale. Sink the ball into your ribs. And twist and look over your right shoulder. Let the ball go into the front of the ribs a little bit. And then rotate and look back over your shoulder. Pull that shoulder back, back, back. And then come back, center yourself, and take the ball away. And now your arm should be a little revived. And that'll match when we do our inner thighs at the end, because that's really the same, because we can't bring our legs together. Our arms together like our legs. So, you ready for the other side? Okay. Onto your left, greater trochanter. And I think I need to start, let's see, down more. Down further than I thought. So take your legs out, get yourself strong, feel your lats under here. And you can always, stabilize your legs like this, or bring them together, or do this, or as Brian does this. Those are all acceptable. You want to really be in alignment. Breathe in. Exhale, sink down into that ball, right at that greater trochanter. Breathe in. Exhale, sink, melt, soften. Feel how more space is being created there. One more, breathe in. Exhale, sink down into the ball. Feel how it just starts opening more and more. Then we're going to reach, do the heel and back and heel and point and flex and point so that you can sink down even deeper. Take the ball up into your muscles on the side of your pelvis. And let's do a little reach and retract, reach and retract. This is nice because it massages these up and down, and we usually don't do that. And then come back and sink in, and then we'll rotate forward and rotate back. Come back onto your side. Keep pressing your shoulder down to feel your lats. Use your standing foot to push yourself back up onto that greater trochanter. And now we're going to sink in and do the reach the heel and pull it back in, reach the heel and pull it back in, and reach the heel and pull it back in. So you get a little bit different feeling when you do that, not the flex and point. Bear weight into the ball, go forward a little bit. and go back a little bit, opening that area up more. Come back onto your side, sink into the ball, bear weight in as you push your body up and you go a third of the way down. Breathe in, breathe out, sink into the ball, and breathe in and sink in a little bit more, and you can reach and retract and reach and retract and reach and retract and sink in, rotate forward and rotate back. Come back onto your side. Go another increment. You're halfway down. Almost done. Breathe in, breathe out, sink in. Reach, retract. Reach the leg, retract the leg. Reach the leg, retract the leg. Sink in. Rotate forward. Rotate back. Last one coming up. Come onto your side. Push yourself up one more spot. Breathe in, breathe out, sink in. Reach that leg, retract it in. Reach it, retract it in. And one more. Retract it in, sink in, forward, and back. Come back onto your side. Roll the ball back up carefully. All the way up. Bend your knees. And bring yourself down for a landing. Come off the ball. And let's just see where we are. We don't have to do the arms again, but I think that helped us to get through. Shake your arms out for a moment. Give them a little squeeze from your neck all the way down to your wrists, to your hands. Shake your wrist out and then go from your neck all the way to your shoulder, down to your wrist. Shake it out. This is always optional, Brian. If you want to stay there and rest, you can too. And then lie on your back. And then we have time to do the deep center line. And just lie on your back. Open your arms out. Take a nice deep breath in. And exhale. This class keeps changing, but I would like to do up the center of the spine. And then we'll do the deep center line. Your arms, your spine already should feel really released into the floor, and your legs should feel really, really good. Just turn them in and out, just like really easy rotation out and in, and shake them out. Bring your arms down by your sides. Bend your right knee in, feel that. Then bend your left knee in, feel that. And then lower your arms down all the way. Reach them up and back. Press through your heels, press through your fingers. Feel the expansion in your body. And exhale and lower your arms back down. All right, bend your knees in again. Roll onto your side. Bring yourself up to sitting. Take this gold ball and sit at the very top of your mat. And we'll just do a nice, we won't go out to the side like we do sometimes for our shoulder blades, because this is really a lower body focus today. But you can never do enough for the spine. So start on your pelvic floor, which of course helps even our legs out. How could we not do this with this class? So get those sit bones wide, like they're wrapping around the ball at this point, and your pubic bone and your tail are also wrapping around the ball, and your right sinking into your pelvic floor. Move your body over to the left so that your sit bone comes to the right. You can pull it out to the right or not. And slowly come back and center yourself on that pelvic floor, and then go to the other side and move the sit bone out to the left. And bring yourself back so that you're in between those two sit bones. Feel that space that you created there. Breathe in, come off the ball. Exhale, sink down into the ball. And I don't mean really come off the ball, just take some pressure off. Breathe in. Exhale, sink into the ball. Walk your feet closer together. Curl your tail under. Roll the ball onto your sacrum. Breathe in. Exhale, sink front to back and back to ball. Breathe in. Exhale, sink front to back and back to ball. Curl your tail under, roll the ball just to the top of your pelvis, but don't sit yet. Breathe in. Exhale, sink front to back and back to ball. Good. And breathe in. Exhale, sink front to back and back to ball. Curl your tail under and roll the ball up into your low back. Breathe in. Exhale, pull your deep lower abdominals into your back. Press your back into the ball. Beautiful. You can hold on to your legs. And breathe in. Exhale, sink front to back and back to ball. Curl your tail under, lift your hips up, roll the ball a little bit higher. You're still in your lower back. Breathe in. Exhale, sink front to back and back to ball. Breathe in. Exhale, sink front to back and back to ball. Curl your tail under, lift your hips up, and roll the ball up to the bottom point of your shoulder blades. Clasp your hands behind your head. Breathe in, breathe out. Pull your skull out, open your elbows. Breathe in. Exhale, pull your skull out. Inhale, bring your head up. Curl your tail under, lift your hips up, and roll the ball to in between your shoulder blades. Inhale, exhale, open your chest. Inhale, exhale, open your chest. Open your elbows. Wrap your collarbones wide and pull your skull out. Inhale, bring your head up. Curl your tail under, roll the ball a little bit higher to the top of your shoulder blades. Inhale, exhale, spread those spinal bones around the ball, reaching out, pulling your skull out. Inhale, bring your head up, curl your tail under, lift your hips up, and roll the ball into your neck. Fix your ball. Lower your arms, bear weight into your feet. Tuck your chin a little bit. Reach your shoulders down. Turn your head slightly to the right, slightly to the left. Bring your head back to the center. Curl your tail under. Lift your hips up. Roll the ball up into your skull. Lower your hips down. Just stay there. Breathe in. Breathe out. Sink into the ball. Walk your feet out a little bit, but just still bearing weight into your feet. Walk your shoulder blades down so that the ball goes down. Your hips go down. The ball goes up, so you really feel it lifting your head up. Then stretch your legs straight. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Remove the ball with one hand. Put your other hand under your skull. Support your neck. Bring your head down. And just take a nice breath in. Reach up and back. Exhale, lower your arms down. Again, notice your body expanding in opposition. Arms reach long. Flex your feet. Reach your heels long. Exhale, lower your arms back down. Then bend one knee, bend your other knee into your chest. Rock onto your side. Push yourself up to sitting. Take a moment so that you don't just decompress too fast. And then we won't do all the way down our legs. We can just go to above our knees with the ball, just so we get into those thighs, since we got everything else except the inner thighs, a real focus, even though we did that with that quad exercise. So the quad routine, stand yourself up. Maybe I can do this a little bit higher so you can. And then just take the ball and put it as high as you can. Get those legs around the ball evenly. Parallel your feet. Look down and make sure that you can see them both facing 12 o'clock. And stand up tall and just notice what that starts to do to your feet. Your feet start to roll out a little bit. That's what we want. We usually, most of us, I do, pronate a little bit so that the feet are going in sort of that way. And we want them to be that way. That's where we get the most power. Drop your head. Articulate your bones, your spinal bones, like your head is a beat, and the spinal cord is the beat tail sliding through your spine. Go down as far as you can go, holding that ball strong. And if you have to change it as you go down, you feel like it's going to pop out, change it to help you stay centered in those thighs. And slowly round yourself back up, restacking an imaginary beautiful skyscraper. Your spine, the pelvis is the bottom floor, the foundation. And then each bone stacks on top of the one below it, like floors in a skyscraper, until your chest opens up and your head takes its place on top of the stack. We'll do 2 more spots. Bend your knees, take the ball midway down. Get it right in the middle so it doesn't pop forward or back. Bring those feet together so you really feel those inner thighs connect. Drop your head. This time imagine you're a beautiful fountain flowing into a beautiful lagoon with underground springs, and you can hear the spring water and you can smell the beautiful briny air and the pine trees, and round back up slowly. Now you're turning into a beautiful geyser that's starting to shoot through the crown of your head to infinity and beyond. And bend your knees, take the ball 1 more increment down, just above your knees. Walk those feet back closer together. Feel where your feet keep going out just a little bit, and then you're lifting up through your center like there's a big volcano. Or you could imagine geyser is probably better than volcano, but something that has all this power that's going straight up. And drop your head. Just imagine that now you're a weeping willow tree. And all your nerves in your spinal cord are being stretched. They love to be stretched, and your spinal cord is getting longer, 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 and longer. Feel that release. You can take a hold of your elbows, let your body release down a little bit more, and then just drop your arms down and round yourself back up, and imagine that your spinal cord is like a big spring, and it's, the spring was stretched out and now it's just coming back to its regular tension and getting a little shorter. And that's what our spinal cord does. It can stretch a lot, along with the bones and the spine and everything else. Come all the way back up, standing nice and tall. And that's class. Take the ball away and walk around the room for a minute and notice how you feel in your legs. Notice how maybe you have some grounding and springiness in you, because that's what our bodies do for us. They ground us and they spring us, they absorb force and they propel us. So enjoy your springy, grounded body, and I'll see you next time. And thank you for joining me today. Great job.